You're a Super Bowl champion, brother.
Love you, Ben.
Love you, man.
Thanks for believing in me.
Yeah, man, I love you.
The look of defeat. The sound of surprise.
I got nothing for you here.
Oh, okay.
That was Super Bowl 60. I'm Brandon Perna, and today, here on That's Good Sports, I'll reveal the real winners and losers of the big game. Seattle was so dominant, Ernest Jones didn't even realize he had 11 tackles.
11 tackles.
Mm-hmm. Who had 11? You, bro.
Somebody.
Come on, baby.
Oh, okay.
Sam Darnold's got so much dog in him that he can sniff out yellow Gatorade on his coach.
You smell like yellow Gatorade.
Yeah.
Nothing went harder than this old photo of Sam Darnold as a Jet staring at the mighty Patriots flag. Before we get to the real winners and losers of the Super Bowl, I've got the Blop 10 plays. 10 plays so bad, even Will Campbell could block them. Starting with the Levis 11. 2 Patriots, 1 Riley Mills. Riley Mills bulldozed Jared Wilson into Drake Maye for a sack. Oddly, this still makes Riley the second best Riley at finishing 2 guys at the same time. If you don't get that joke, congratulations. You are a pure, untainted soul. That was Riley Mills' first career sack, and when asked what he did there, he quoted Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, I just ran through his face and then got to the quarterback.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there? Run through a motherfucker face.
Blop 10, Tyler Shuck pelting fans with footballs. This is encouraging for Saints fans. I only want my quarterback to know one speed. Full speed. This is a lot like Peyton Manning drilling those kids back on SNL.
Get your head out of your ass! You suck!
Blop 9, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Collinsworth.
It's amazing how deep inside the hole he can get and still bounce it out.
Chris, if you want to see a guy get deep inside the hole, I've got a movie for you. What? I'm talking about the 1999 cult classic film Ravenous. You pervs. I wasted my porn joke on the Levis 11. Blop 8, Bad Bunny demonstrated perfect ball security and had more rushing yards during his halftime performance than the Patriots all game. Blop 7, learning after the game that the trees in the halftime show were actually alive. Sadly, I'm guessing this triggered a lot of bad memories for veterans of the Vietnam War. Although it did make this Super Bowl carbon neutral, so. Blop 6, Robert Kraft, yawning at his own Super Bowl. And if I'm being honest, I really struggled with this joke. Like, do I go with a boring game joke or an old man joke here? It was a really difficult decision. And I finally understood how Robert Kraft must have felt when he had to choose between Brady and Belichick. Honestly, the Super Bowl should start 2 hours earlier. Imagine, though, if this game was on the East Coast. They'd have to wheel a bed into the luxury box and possibly a masseuse. Blop 5, Gooch tape. We're taping gooches and inflating wieners in the Winter Olympics, and it still can't compete with the Super Bowl for viewers. Blop 4, a robot falls on Stephon Diggs' girlfriend. Cardigan B. Another concerning development in the future of AI robots who also lust for human women now. Also, maybe let's help up the person before the bag of bolts. Oh God, I hope the robot's okay. Somebody help the robot. I'm not okay. I was just learning to lust. Blop 3, we had a Super Bowl streaker. If this guy hadn't celebrated prematurely at the 30-yard line, I think he makes it all the way into the end zone. But he will now go down as the Leon Lett of streakers. Blop 2, Mac Hollins with another ridiculous pregame costume and entrance. To his credit, he did score a touchdown and was the Patriots' leading receiver. But Mac has officially jumped the shark and appears more desperate for attention than that robot who wants to fuck Cardi B. And Blop 1, a ref takes a hard spill. And this is why no one's buying the Hannibal Lecter entrance, Mac. You can't walk into the stadium in handcuffs and also offer to help up a fallen ref. You think Hannibal Lecter offered his victims a helping hand before wearing their skin as a mask? Mac.
Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again.
And please, if you like football, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're about 600 subscribers away from 854,000. And we gotta keep our foot on the gas if we're gonna get to 1 million by the next Super Bowl. So please, do it. It's the only way I know that I have value.
You smell like yellow Gatorade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Today's episode is brought to you by Element, which is a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix and sparkling water aimed at helping you stay hydrated and hitting optimal sodium levels. Now life, it's very complex, right? But there are a few things that remain true. No matter how crazy life gets, you need sleep, a good diet, and exercise to stay healthy. You also need to stay hydrated, and if you're active and you lose a lot of water sweating, or whatever you do to sweat, Element helps you do that. Element has 4 flavors of sparkling electrolyte water: pineapple, black cherry, lemonade, and orange salt. What I like about these sparkling drinks is that they have half the electrolytes as the packs, 500 milligrams of sodium, 100 milligrams of potassium, and 30 milligrams of magnesium compared to the packets. Now, while nobody actually knows what a milligram truly is, I trust they measured it out. I love the sparkling drinks for winter, the packets for summer. And here's the honest truth. I like the way Element tastes, and the sparkling drinks have helped me replace something very unhealthy that I also like to drink at night. And not to throw anyone under the bus, but it's whiskey. Element, it's a lot better for you than whiskey. Can we get that tagline approved? No? Element is now giving anyone who uses my link a new sample pack that features 2 packs of their most popular flavors. That's 4 flavors, 8 total samples for you to try, and it's for new or existing customers when you use my link and make a purchase at Element. The game began with a cinematically perfect camera move at the conclusion of our national anthem. And it was the last cinematically beautiful thing that would happen to those who call themselves Patriots. This was a defensive slugfest, one so ugly Mike Vrabel could only watch with one eye. The biggest winners on Sunday were the sickos because it was a 9-0 game at halftime, a dominant 9-0 game by the Seahawks. NFL teams are now 0-15 if they don't score by halftime in the Super Bowl. It was 12-0 at the end of the third quarter until A.J. Barner and his touchdown gave the Seahawks a dominating 19-0 lead to start the fourth. We were then treated to 3 fourth quarter touchdowns and a couple Drake Maye picks that at least gave football fans something to watch in a game that was over in the third quarter. The fourth quarter of this Super Bowl was like when they put a bunch of bloopers during the credits of a movie, right? The winning coach and defense, that's going to Mike Macdonald, and quite literally every level of Seattle's dark side. The dark side defeated the evil empire. Wow. The Super Bowl for the sickos and the nerds. Neither quarterback was ever in contention to win Super Bowl MVP because both defenses were great. Mike Macdonald became the first head coach, though, to win a ring while calling defensive plays. He did it before turning 40, joining Tomlin, Gruden, and McVay in that feat.
We did not care.
He's so hardcore, though, that he wishes the season would just never end.
As great as it is, I wish the season kept going because it's just such a great team.
Cool shit. That's right. Seattle's defense was so good. They are indeed cool shit. When Kyle Shanahan said this before the game, I knew the Patriots were screwed.
I haven't scored a touchdown on these guys last 2 times we played them, so I don't know how good that is, but it's a grind versus these guys.
When one of the best offensive minds in football says, you know what? I don't know how to score on those dudes, so you either join the dark side or you die. Seattle delivered the 4th best Super Bowl EPA performance by a defense. They allowed 0 explosive runs and pressured Drake Maye on 52.8% of his dropbacks. Cool shit. One of the most dominant defensive performances in a Super Bowl ever by the numbers. Yes, way more dominant than Super Bowl 48. Cool shit.
It starts with defense, and defense wins championships, and we got one today.
That's some cool shit.
Winning university? Well, the University of Missouri, which now has produced not one, not two, but 3 Super Bowl champion quarterbacks since 2009. Their names? Chase Daniel, Blaine Gabbert, and Drew Lock. You want to collect a ring doing as little as possible? Become a Tiger. I'm looking forward to Brady Cook getting the backup glory in a few years. Probably not with the Jets, but still. Our winning game manager, that goes to Sam Darnold. Ginger is officially black.
Hey, bro, they told me that Ginger's is black.
That's what they said.
That's what I heard.
I didn't say that.
And Ginger is officially an elite level game manager. Ginger is the first QB to win a Super Bowl after playing for 5 different teams. And when I call Sam Darnold the game manager, I mean it in the most complimentary way because Drake Maye was the opposite of that. Sam Darnold was blitzed and pressured all night. Last year in those final 2 games, he buckled while getting pressured, right? He was hit, he was sacked, but in the Super Bowl, he ate that shit up and spit it out for 202 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, and a single sack. It's been a while since I have watched a quarterback under that much pressure and take that many hits and only get sacked once. Even on Darnold's layup touchdown pass to A.J. Barner, he took a shot. I think Darnold was blitzed on 70% of his dropbacks in the first half. Not only did Sammy D not turn the ball over in the Super Bowl, he didn't turn it over once in the postseason, and his team trailed for a total of 1 minute and 35 seconds all postseason long. Sam Darnold and Drake Maye both missed on a handful of deep shots in this game, but that is a credit to the way the defenses were playing. My winning running back? Well, that would be Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. First running back to win since one Terrell Davis. He also gets the winning hug. What was impressive was watching Kenneth Walker just patiently wait for his blocks to get set up. Patience like this hasn't been seen since Le'Veon Bell or when Robert Kraft waits for his wife to tuck him into bed by 8 o'clock every single night. I liked that the MVP was a tough call in this game. Kicker Jason Myers, Brian Murphy, Devon Witherspoon all had strong cases, but ultimately Kenneth Walker's 135 rushing yards and 26 receiving yards was the difference in the game. Pretty much all 5 of Jason Myers' record-setting field goals were set up by Kenneth Walker-led drives. He cranked more yards after contact than the entire Patriots offense had total in the first half. And he did that against a defense that hadn't allowed more than 53 rushing yards to a back when Milton Williams was on the field. Winning prediction? Me. Predicting Kenneth Walker to win Super Bowl MVP last week on Clickbait Sports.
Let's get even more bold, Adam, and say Kenneth Walker wins MVP of the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's not a running back award.
Winning corners, Devon Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez. They were both amazing, even playing for different teams. Gonzalez had a perfect game in coverage, and the only reason the Patriots had a chance after the first half is because the Gons single-handedly prevented 2 touchdowns. I've been impressed with him all season, but he was as good as a corner can be in the Super Bowl. Devon Witherspoon was an absolute weapon. He had a sack, 4 unblocked pressures, and a couple QB hits. Seeing a lockdown corner get shot out of a cannon as a blitzer is incredibly satisfying. It's like hearing your ex-girlfriend had a hard time breaking up with you because the sex was too good. It is that satisfying.
It's amazing how deep inside the hole he can get.
Winning special teams? The Seahawks. Now, I talked a lot about special teams being a factor in this game, heading into this game, but my focus was all on Marcus Jones and Rashid Shaheed. And they're both basically non-factors. The 2 truly impressive performers were the Seahawks kicker and punter. Jason Myers, of course, was money, making all 5 field goals and 2 extra points. Record for most field goals in the Super Bowl. That's 17 points off his foot, and he was in the MVP convo. Punter Michael Dixon was equally nails, downing 3 punts inside the 6-yard line, which eliminated Marcus Jones and his dangerous returns. He didn't just coffin corner his punts, he cremated them and buried New England 6 feet under. Having the highest paid punter and kicker combo seems like another savvy move by John Schneider. Our unhung hero, well, that's going to outside linebacker Derek Hall, not to be confused with the Diamondbacks president and CEO of the same name. Derek, kids in the hall, notched 2 sacks and forced a fumble. He actually got the first sack of the game. His forced fumble was the first turnover of the game, and dear God, did he look a lot like vintage Von Miller in that number 58 jersey. Shout out to Patriot safety Craig Woodson, another unhung hero who was an absolute monster in this game. Craig joined Julian Love in the postseason, allowing a passer rating under 10. Under 10. Winning ball security, the Seahawks, who didn't have a turnover all postseason. Breaking news for everyone, winning the turnover battle makes it much easier to win playoff games. They were +7. More than anything, this is a massive Sam Darnold stat. It wasn't quite up to the standards of Joe Flacco's 11 touchdown, no interception run in the 2012 playoffs, but after throwing 14 picks and fumbling a league high 11 times in the regular season, managing not to give the ball away and letting your incredible defense do the heavy lifting in the postseason is a huge win for Sam.
Bruh, they told me that Gingers is black.
There are a lot of people holding their breath for that 4-pick meltdown from Sam Darnold in the playoffs, and to his credit, he never let it happen. Losing stat? The Seahawks defense had more sacks with 9 and takeaways with 4 in 2 games at Levi's Stadium this season than the 49ers did in their 8 home games combined with 7 sacks and 3 takeaways at Levi's. Losing QB? Yeah, you guessed it, Drake Maye. All those people moaning, and not in a pleasurable way, about Drake Maye not winning MVP can finally shut the fuck up. Drake simply did not have a good game. And like Justin Herbert, we saw what he looked like without any protection up front. Drake Maye kind of played like CJ Stroud from a couple weeks ago. Now, Maye finished with a very respectable 295 passing yards and 2 TDs, but that was mostly garbage time. He's actually getting the
Good for you, bud.
award because Maye set a record for the most passing yards in a single quarter in the Super Bowl with 235. All of it, like my work here on YouTube, is meaningless. Maye was sacked 6 times, lost a fumble, threw those 2 bad picks, the first of which was so bad it left Chris Collinsworth speechless.
I've got nothing for you here.
Maye was pressured 19 times, and all of his mistakes came while being pressured. Don't get me wrong, most quarterbacks would have been sent to the slaughter against that Seahawks D, but Maye looked overwhelmed and just couldn't get rid of the ball. And as bad as his offensive line was, he didn't do them too many favors until it was too late. Maye's 21 sacks taken are the most in a single postseason, and his 7 fumbles also the most in a postseason. Drake also earns the losing play honors. The Patriots did have a chance late in this game because their defense is legit, okay? Maye had just thrown back-to-back absolute FDRs to Mac Hollins, including a touchdown. Momentum was shifting in New England's favor, slightly. Maye had rushed for a first down, and then he fired an ill-advised, terrible, silly pass over the middle just so Julian Love could pluck it out of the air and end any real chance the Patriots had to actually win that game.
We did not care.
The Arthur Smith Award for the most stimulating play, that goes to Uchenna Nwosu's pick 6 on the Witherspoon strip 6. The weirdest thing about this play is that Witherspoon was not credited with the sack because Maye actually got rid of the ball here. And that's important because a 7th sack would have tied them for the most in a Super Bowl. When I watched this play live, I thought it was a fumble. Instead, it was an insane pick 6 by Uchenna Nwosu.
Seahawks bring the pressure. Maye is hit. Ball is on the ground. Picked up by Seattle. And it is going in for a touchdown. Holy fuck. Here's a fun fact for you. There have been 17 pick 6s in Super Bowl history, and every team that has returned an interception for a touchdown has won the game. Who had a pick 6 in last year's Super Bowl?
Firing, intercepted, picked up by Cooper DeJean.
All right, suck it, Kansas City. I hope you're still going and fucking yourselves. The moral of the story, do not throw a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You know, if you can avoid it. Winning troll job? That goes to Jordan Hudson in her second favorite job to give. Yes, that is an Orchids of Asia t-shirt she is wearing. What is Orchids of Asia? Well, that's the massage parlor where Robert Kraft, Patriots owner, had his balls deflated before it got raided. Something tells me that Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft did not leave on the best of terms in New England. Quite the whirlwind week for Kraft. He missed out on the Hall of Fame, got named in the Epstein files, and then got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl. That's a tough week, and congrats to Jordan for pouring salt into the wound. Winning tweet? That goes to Will Campbell lover. Unfortunately, Will Campbell was the losing protector, along with the Patriots' entire offensive line, who earned the We Ass Award.
We ass.
People were wondering if Campbell was better suited as a guard coming out of LSU, and I think this postseason run might have confirmed that. Injury pending. Campbell said he would
fight and die to protect them with everything I've got.
But apparently that does not include diving to fall on fumbles. A touching tribute to one Cam Newton.
Who the fuck is Pony?
Campbell got torched for 14 pressures on 53 dropbacks, so over a quarter of the Patriots' passing plays. That's also the most pressures allowed by a single lineman in a game all season. A year after addressing the offensive line in the draft and free agency, it still looks like the Pats need help in that department. You don't see a guy go from league MVP prospect to posting the worst playoff EPA in the next-gen stats era if his offensive line doesn't get dominated. Losing fundamentals, the Patriots defense, they were good, but the Pats left 80 yards on the field via missed tackles, a lot of them forced by the eventual MVP Kenneth Walker. It felt like even when they had Darnold pinned in the pocket at times, he was able to get out too frequently and avoid sacks. Somehow the only Patriot that didn't miss a tackle was their rookie wide receiver Kyle Williams. And our winning QB, well, that's Tom Brady for watching his Patriots get destroyed without him. You know he loved seeing that shit. And he was out the night before frolicking with 25-year-old podcaster Alex Earl. Divorcee Tom Brady is flirting with podcasters, so in 20 years I foresee Drake Maye being divorced and fornicating with robots. It's the natural progression of things. Losing religion? All of them not named Catholicism. The proof is in the pudding. There have been 3 popes elected in the 21st century, and all 3 times it has led to the Seahawks earning the 1 seed and appearing in the Super Bowl. And at this point, instead of releasing the white smoke to indicate the election of a new pope, they should be firing off blue and green confetti at the Vatican. Unfortunately for the Seahawks, but fortunately for the pious followers of Christ, Pope Leo is just 70 years old and appears to be in pretty good health. Winning trade? Seattle Seahawks and their GM, John Schneider, is the first GM to win multiple Super Bowls with a different QB and head coach and an entirely different roster. And that was all made possible by the Russell Wilson trade. That fateful trade took place in the spring of 2022, and in that haul, Seattle got the picks that turned into Boye Mafe, Derek Hall, Devon Witherspoon, and Charles Cross, all of whom were massive contributors in the Super Bowl. Perhaps most importantly, they all dodged the bullet of having to pay Russell Wilson, something Denver has finally stopped footing the bill for. Both of those teams are now in a much better place than they were the day that trade went down, but it's going to go down as one of the better trades in NFL history for Seattle, one that built the foundation for their second Super Bowl victory. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports all season long. Appreciate it here on Winners and Losers. Please subscribe. And don't forget, we make football videos all off-season long. We got free agency. We got the draft. We got breaking news. So make sure you come back here. Please don't forget about me. Oh, God, please don't forget about me.
It's amazing how deep inside the hole he can get.